This is Short Hammer. It is the 21st of March, 2021, and this is Trading Zones. The market has been interesting. So what we were looking at last week, right? Let's see, the 14th is where are we? Here. So this is roughly where we opened the week. And we did break higher, drift a little lower, and then we gave the sort of the look like we were going to jam, and that was smack down, came right back down. And quite a few people got caught on this break above this peak above. And what you want to remember when you're eh, and it's not for everyone. Everyone has their own, I'll say, technique and strategy to be able to execute that. I'm a conservative trader. This is not a trade I would ever be stuck in. It's just not going to happen. The reason it's not going to happen is because we're breaking above the previous high, right? For me, I need a confirmation back test. I need either a drop back into 39.50, 58 or 39.67 ish up here, 39.70. But I need a buy back up and a continuation to show me that the buyers are firmly in this, that they're telling the sellers to get out of the way. We're taking this thing higher, and the sellers are jumping ship. Didn't see that here, right? That's sort of what I need to see. I need to see bullish extensions, meaning multiple bullish candles above this level would be a sign that, hey, there's actual strength in this move, and the strength is continuing to increase to the upside. And however you measure that, if it's through volume, if it's through something different, that's what you wait for. So on the subsequent sell back down, we back tested to 39.58, and then we dropped. And this is just a beautiful chart pattern. So moving forward, what do we need to watch out for? Well, we're selling back down into the 38.80s. What we have to watch out for is a pop over the 39.11s and then a potential squeeze, right? So you have to sort of watch this and see how they play this. But look where we are right now. We're testing look at these bottoms, lower wicks, no lower wicks below 38.80s. Look at that. Push back above. So on this drop down, we have to see if this pattern continues and they bias back up to the top of this. If we may, leg up, it's just something interesting to watch. Like for me, it's what I'll be watching for specifically is, hey, do we flare down and test this 38.80s? And if we do the buyers step in and strongly drive us back to the upside? So definitely going to be watching this because one of two things are going to happen. We're going to dip and buy up because we're bouncing, or we're going to dip and sell through and we'll get an extension down here, which will be a candle closing below the 38.80 area here, where it didn't on the 4 hour chart close below that. See all these lower wicks, buyers are present. So we'll see how that plays out. Sort of what this does if we go down here. If we ended up buying up, I would not be long. Um, at least on the higher time frame until 39, break of 39.19, 39.20 ish. Now, how to put this? You There are people that are buying the dip, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a different way of trading. Everyone has a different time horizon. So I would be careful because the market is it's a little bit off. Whereas the things that we would look for to be able to find correlation, those things aren't correlated right now, not the way that we're used to. So you got to be careful as you're looking for clues and watching these charts to see what where you think high probability trades, where you think this may be going. Be careful. Just keep it light until we get multiple days, multiple green days, and the market trend and the market drift turns back positive. Just be careful. You don't have to go full size. You can go half size. You can go quarter size. Protect your capital. That's the name of the game. Protect your capital as much as possible and only take great setups. But we'll see where we are next week. Let me keep it moving. RTY. Now, what did the Rust do? It sold, right? And this is where you get into the weeds a little bit, and I'm not going to get into the weeds a little bit. For those of you that are interested, there are other places you can really dig into. Um, the let me, for example, the TNX, the TLT. What happened with interest rates? All those things are available for you to dig into. But on the Rust, look at this. Slight push, not as strong as the S&P. And then look at this. Little pullback, but we're off the highs and we're dropping down here. And a lot of this has to do with the interest rate. It's just so much going on right now in the market that um it's just a lot of news and a lot of people trying to position for the next big move. Uh, what we want to see here, we saw the flare down and the push off of 2240s. Look at that climb, beautiful thing. Back test 2290s, nice. Um, if you're bullish, you want us to go through the 2290s, be bullish above that level and squeeze. If you're bearish, you want this to hold as the top. And you want us to sell back down and at least test the lower wicks here, around 2230. What's this? 2238 ish. So we'll see, but just be careful. Um, watch your positions as this market goes through these wild swings. Let's go straight to Amazon. So if you're trading Amazon, let's see where we started there, right here, and we did buy back to the bottom of the channel, that's 3080s. But and even though we had a flare up inside of it, we sort of pulled right back below, and it's just we didn't get we're not going either direction. We're not going up and making progress that way, and we're not going down and making progress that way. We're basically middling here. This is a consolidation. Remember, consolidation leads to expansion. So the let's see, the 3080s, we need to get above that. We need to get above the 3140s and be bullish above here for a squeeze into 3190s, then potentially the 3220s. If we don't do that, and we watch a 3068, the 3020, and then the 2950, maybe a little bit lower. Um, Amazon has a lot of, I believe, some news and different things going on right now. So we'll see how it does. But for the people that trade Amazon, they're loving this because they feel they can get this on discount. They feel Amazon should be worth up here. So I'm not saying to scale into anything or to buy anything or I'm not saying anything like that. Just whatever setup that you use. I'm saying just be aware of these levels, right? These are very interesting inflection point levels where, um, a rejection could lead to significant selling, or if the sell side is rejected strongly, could lead to, motivated buying. But Amazon is interesting. I am I wasn't. I'm not in right now. We'll see how this plays out next week. Netflix. And what did we get? Oh yeah. A dip into our 490s. If you watched last week's video, we did mention that. And we got a buyback up out of that area to the $5.04. And then a push, right? I mean, not $504, right? And then we're seeing a push here and a test of the 529s. Actually, ignore that. I took you back too far. I should have been looking here. My fault. So we had a back test of the 504s. This is last week, not loading. Let me get over that. Of the 504s. And the buyers did step in here, right? To these lower wicks. So what we see here, if you sort of scrunch this chart up, consolidation, right? Don't get it twisted. Even though it looks as if we're making these huge swings, um, we're above the 504 area, and we're beneath the 529 area. Even up to the 535. So we're consolidating. So we have to see which way this is gonna fire, and I'm actually going to probably set some alerts on Netflix, just to try to catch it, because there will be an extension from this point. The question is sort of which direction will that extension be. So definitely waiting for that, and we'll see how everything shakes out on Netflix. Actually, hold on. Before I leave the page, let me give you your levels. If you just 504, 507 is the zone. We would prefer squeezing to the 529s to the 535s. Then it's just decision time, right? Market can either pop this and squeeze up into the 550s, or can let it drift back down. So we'll see where that is next session or two. There should be sort of a decision made on this. Are we going to stay in, above this 504 area? And if not, and we dip, is there enough selling pressure to get below 493s? So we'll see. NVDA. Here we are. And above the 514s, we saw a reaction, push into the 530s here. Another reaction, push back again, a little bit of a lower low, and then we drift down. Um, so if I'm watching NVIDIA, it needs to break these 530s, specifically the 530 mid, so 535, get over that area and give us a squeeze into the 555s. Um, it's just beautiful how this held up, but this is still consolidating, right? So we can still get, you know, um, nice sized moves in either direction. Um, so for me, I'm watching for the break into the upper 530s, almost into the 540s. And if we don't see that, then I'm going to be more bearish than not, right? I mean, even though we're on the previous close and we're bouncing there, I'm still going to be more bearish than not. If we drop and we have bearish continuation below the let's see, what's this? 513s ish. Um, then we will want to see, sort of keep our eye out to see what's happening, right? If we get back down into these 470s, then we may have a small problem, but we'll see, right? It's a nice little dip, and we have to see where Nvidia goes. I believe there is some news out. I did not double check before this video, but I will. So what we want to see is either a break above into the 540 area, or a sell below and through the 475s into the 460, then a dip, and sort of a buy from there. If we can see a squeeze, we'll see. We have to see what the market tells us, right? Wait for the market to decide, then we jump in and follow the flow. But to the upside, we have 531, we have 536, 542, and 547. To the downside, I can't forget the 514. We're right there on it. Our next line is at 475, then 460, then 454. We'll see which way this goes. Facebook went BANANAS. Loving this. Great extension. We did mention that I believe it was the 264 by 268 area was the area that we wanted the the market to retest, right, for Facebook. And we saw that pull back into that area, and our expectation was, hey, it's more likely than not that the buyers are going to snag this up above that level. It's a good zone. And that's basically what happened. And we ran like nobody's business. So this is an interesting play. So watching Facebook, do I think it's going to hold and continue to go? It's possible, but I don't think so. But we'll see, right? Don't be biased. When you're looking at charts, be 100% agnostic from a market perspective, that you're not trying to sell any and not necessarily sell, but trying to push a narrative when the data may not support, right? So to the upside above the 291s, we have 297s, then 303s. To the downside, we have 279 and what's this? 260, 267 ish. Yeah, right around 267 ish. 264. We'll see. But this area, for me, if we have a vicious sell, push into that area, the 268s by 264 to be a quick dip buy, and we'll see if I want to get risky, if it buys back up. I think I do. Um, let's keep going. But we'll keep an eye on Facebook. We'll see if we get continuation to the upside, and also how heavily the um the different news stories may be weighing on it. Like if we're going to open up, that benefits so many tickers, but it also definitely benefits something like Facebook. People are back out. People are back active. Got to sell them stuff. Facebook is ready to go. As far as selling them stuff. So just watch these levels right up against the 291s. We need a continuation above, and then a bullish candles. If you're on your 5-minute lower time frame, you'll be able to see it clearly. Bullish candles, and then it opens up the 297s. So we'll see how that plays out. But what you also want to look for is the last few times, right, that Facebook was here, what happened? Take a look at your chart. It'll give you some clues on it, so you can, perform a thesis that you can execute. Let's keep it moving. Microsoft. And Microsoft was just weak, right? Look at this selling. So what we're going to watch for is first touch 229. We did get a bounce. Let's see if we hold the 229 area. Let's scrunch this up a little bit. The thing that we also want to watch is the 226, 227 area to see if the buyer step in. If we sell through the 220s, then we should definitely be seeing a nice, wonderful dip coming into the market. So that's something to watch, and this should be interesting next week. There's definitely a buyer at the 225-ish to 24-ish area. We will see. Yeah, see the 221s. But yeah, I'll just watch these levels. But when you get into, let me see why I'm saying this. Just here, right? Just look back at these levels. December, November, and October for Facebook, right? And we'll see for Microsoft, right? And we'll see if that holds, right? We'll see if we get back, if we drift down into that area and the buyers step in again. They did here. And so we'll have to see if they're still there and they're willing to do it again and buy us back up. But just watch your levels and see 229. We'll see. We do want this to buy back up, but it does look a little bearish. We'll see. On Microsoft, we will see. Apple, strong selling. The 116 is the swing low that we tested since we've had this selling going on. It gave us a sign like it was going to go multi-day, and that failed, came right back down. Just be careful in the market. We have to see if we see a buy at the 119s for potential buyback up into the 121s. Then if it breaks above that, then we're watching the 123s and higher. Um, this looks super bearish. Watch the 119s, the 116s, just to see if if we get there, if the buyers will step in and bounce this back up. But with everything opening back up, Apple should be seeing more traffic in their stores, which is also a revenue driver for them. So we'll see. So what we mentioned on Intel coming into the week was that we wanted a break above the 6360s. And what did we get? A break above the 6360s, a back test of the 6360s, a push back up, back test. And now we sort of see maybe a spill here. Let's see how that plays out. But if we played this area above the 6370s, um, that worked out well. Had multiple entries and exits, and on this one, we should be able to play it with a stop, right? But this is nice. Look at this extension. This is great. Um, Intel strong at the C. If we're going to see a little bit of sell side here, and if we're going to dip back into the 62s, so we'll see. But usually Intel is really good at holding levels, and it doesn't move incredibly fast. CMG, nice push here. Tested the 1510s, beautiful. Um, the 1460s is the area that we mentioned before that we would want to see some type of decision, right? But look at the sell side here on CMG. And is this huge? No, right? Look how big this was. But we have to watch the levels. So we'll the 1421 is the level. To the upside, 1468 is the level. Above that, 1510, then 1523. Below this level, 1394, 1348. We'll see where this goes if we see this selling continue on CMG. But any one of these little pockets, these demand lines, um, there could be a push up, right? So just be careful. McDonald's going BANANAS. This extension was, hey, when we were down here, we are saying may want to look to the next level around this 217s, and we did break. Look, gave us the back test here, and we're going higher. Gotta love McDonald's. It consolidated for months. I don't expect this move to the upside to be short lived. I think this could be interesting just based on that the top was this 216.90s, roughly 217 was the top that we've been in for quite some time. And that we broke above, that's definitely good news. So we'll see if we get that bullish continuation. As long as we stay above the 216.95 ish area, it should be continued buying. We'll have to see how this shakes out. But the next level, we're right above it, 223.66, then 226.75 and 231. To the downside, 216.95, then 213.40s, and then 209s. So we'll see how this plays out. But definitely nice break. GOOS, just really slow. We're getting some pops here. That's interesting. We have to see. But I would not. Excuse me. Um, yeah, GOOS is just it's funky. You kind of just have to have the direction right. Then you just leave your trade on here. But we'll see. GOOS is interesting. I do expect GOOS to go down as we head into the summer. So we'll see how well this take your holds up. But you do want to get back above the 43.90s, and you want a push here into the 45.30s, right, on Goose. We'll see. That's if you're bullish. DLTR. Continue to look at this. Nice pullback here. We have to see. But I would wait for the break of 111, and maybe we have 2 or 3 points to take. Some people may take it earlier, but the safer bet is to wait for it to break, back test, and go. But we'll see how it does with the 111s on Dollar Tree. This move is a reaction to earnings. Whirlpool, the durable good or goods company. Strong move. Go to the 15th. Look at this. Just strong, right? So we have to see if we look at this. I think it's all-time highs. We have to see if this is going to continue. But I'm not a fan of chasing tops, but this structure, look how strong this was all last week. So this is going to be a pivot trade because I don't have any retracement lines drawn above here. But remember, strong stocks tend to get stronger and weak stocks tend to get weaker. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on Whirlpool. Tesla. After bouncing at the Sophie level down these 500s, we hit our head on 713s, and that's a strong area to keep an eye on now of resistance or supply, depending on what you want to call it. And a dip into the 650s, we did buy back up, but we did lose that area as a demand area, right? So we on the pullback into the 650s, we do expect some sort of a bounce, but we'll see if we get rolled on Monday. If so, watch out for the 616s. Then we're back down into the 500s. If the buyers stay, sort of get into this and begin to push this back up because they feel it's on discount, then we can definitely go. Watch for the break of this 713 area. But that's kind of interesting. Make sure you get these levels. They've been pretty good and working well. Whoops, that's not where I want to go. That's where I want to go. ZM, nice bit of selling. And we would expect that there would be a little bit of a drawdown just based on all the excitement about the vaccine, people getting back out, things opening back up. So we'll see on ZM to the downside 301, below that 295 to the upside 346, 375. We have to see if we get that squeeze here on ZM. But this does not look good. Looks like it's ready to dip a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. You never know. But it feels as if ZM has lost the narrative, right? So we have to see how things play out from the from the just the view of those that may think that this is on discount based on these higher prices, and they also may think just their thesis may be that the market is pulling back, but it's just based on the news that's not reality, and maybe expecting more bad news that would drive this back up, saying people will be staying home longer than expected. So we'll have to wait and see. Jump into Goldman Sachs. I do need to run soon, but nice pullback here. We just, if you look at the chart, there have been pullbacks, strong pullbacks, and then they've all been bought up. So um, just be careful. This is really a good time to sit on your hands or to trade very lightly. Just because of the wild swings in the market, sometimes it can be difficult to get into and out of a position, just based on how volatile the movements have been. Um, but Goldman Sachs, I'd watch for a pullback into 337, see if the buyers step in. We have our levels, but if the buyers step in, then we would need a push back through the 340s and just for this thing to go crazy. We'll see. We'll be watching this. It's interesting. Just the strength of financials is just crazy. But what I do think, let me be honest here, I'm probably going to be getting some put verticals on this, just because I think that there's no way the value of Goldman Sachs didn't go up that much over the last month or so, right? This is this is nuts, right? So I expect this to come back to reality, come back to the market a little bit more. But until then, you know, but these are the levels on Goldman Sachs to the upside. Three, what's this? Yep, 347, 344 right below that. So I don't know if that would count. To the downside, 337, 350. It's just going to be a challenge. But um we have to see. But I think that just based on how strong financials have been, we just have to keep an eye out for the people that are following the economic news and the economic data. There's just a lot of data and information floating right now, and this could negatively affect Goldman Sachs. So I'll be watching this. This is not a dip buy area for me because I have to see a reaction to buy back up. But even then, what this market is showing you is that even those can be sold. And here we are looking at the SPY. Um, nice pop and push, but right back down. We couldn't quite get the next level and couldn't quite get the momentum behind it to give us that push. But looking at this chart, looks like we may see a buy at the 388s. We'll see if that holds out. But to the downside 388, then this is 385 to the upside 390 and 393. Um, be careful out there. Whatever. Oh, I forgot to take a peek at RCI. I forgot that last week too. But nice extension here on CI. I'm not in, but this thing is super strong. Like a nice pullback would be good, but I'm not in CI. But this is a good time to look around at some of the other tickers, whether it be they healthcare or you know maybe other green energy products. But this is a good time to look around because we're so volatile. The money has to go somewhere. So even though tech has not been as strong, the the people are having to park money in different places. So I would definitely look around, right? When a ticker like CI moves like this, that's a great move. But it's not the normal way that it moves. So this is definitely different. We do expect a pullback of some sort here, and then potentially continuation to the upside. But neither here nor there. I could be keeping an eye on CI. Draw some levels in for that. But if you like this video, please tap the like button. And if you'd like to receive more content like this, not just from me, but from Elisa, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Power of Pivots. where you can look to learn how Elisa uses her power of pivots script and strategy to find great pre-market, intraday, and post-market setups. Um, you know, please be careful. The market is volatile. If you don't have to be in, just wait. Wait for a trend to develop and just follow that, right? Be very, very careful right now because there are a lot of things that are sort of building up, and quite a few of them are at odds. And whether that be the TNX, the TLT, how much money is flowing to defensive sectors, energy, is just a lot of different things going on with a lot of different readings where things that used to be correlated are not right now, right? So just expecting something to happen just based on that. But enjoy the well, by the time you get the video, weekend will be over. But have a wonderful week of trading. Um, Manage that risk. And thank you.